When your cat suddenly stops sleeping with you, do you actually know what that means? Most people chalk it up to mood. Cats are independent, they move around. Maybe they found a cooler spot on the floor. But behind that absence, that empty space on the bed where they used to curl up, there's something most owners completely miss. It's one of the most important messages your cat will ever send you. And if you ignore it, which most owners do, you could be missing the one signal that tells you something is genuinely wrong. Let's start with what your cat sleeping with you actually means, because you need to understand what you had before you can understand what it means when it's gone. Number 1, it was never really about warmth. Most people assume their cat slept with them for body heat. Cats love warm spots. After all, a sunny windowsill, a laptop keyboard, your legs are under a blanket. Simple enough, right? Here's what's actually happening. Yes, warmth plays a role, but behavioral scientists have observed something far more significant. When a cat chooses to sleep with you, not just near you, but on you or pressed against you, they are placing themselves in a state of complete vulnerability. Their eyes are closed, their guard is down, their survival instincts are essentially offline. In the wild, that state is dangerous. Cats do not fall into deep sleep in open spaces. They find concealed, enclosed locations where they feel protected from predators. When your cat chose your bed, they weren't just chasing warmth. They were telling you that you are their safe place. You are the concealment. You are the protection. Think about that for a second. The animal that evolved to stay perpetually alert, never fully to relax in an exposed space, decided that next to you was the safest place in the world. And by the way, if your cat has recently started sleeping on your chest or near your face instead of at your feet, don't brush that off. We'll come back to what that specific shift means later, and it's something most owners wish they'd paid attention to sooner. Number 2, your cat was reading your body chemistry every night. Here's where the science gets striking. A 2019 study on feline sensory behavior found that cats possess up to 200 million scent receptors in their nasal cavity, compared to roughly 5 million in humans. While you slept, your cat wasn't just resting. They were reading you, respiratory rate, heart rate, subtle hormonal shifts. Cats can detect changes in cortisol levels, the stress hormone, through scent alone. Behavioral researchers who study human-animal bonding have documented cases where cats altered their sleeping positions or chose to sleep closer to owners during periods of elevated stress or illness, even before the owner was consciously aware that anything was wrong. Your cat was monitoring you. What makes this even more meaningful is that this isn't something they do for just anyone in the household. It's targeted. It's about you. So when your cat slept beside you, it wasn't passive. It was an act of attention. They were paying attention to your body in ways you couldn't even pay attention to yourself. Number 3, they were marking you as theirs. And that's not territorial, it's tender. You've probably heard that cats mark their territory, and that's true, but the way we frame it misses something important. Cats have scent glands located along their cheeks, their chin, their paws, and along the length of their tail. When your cat slept against you, pressed their face into your arm, kneaded your blanket, curled their tail across your leg, they were depositing pheromones onto you. This is called bunting and alluring. And here's what most people don't realize. Cats only do this with individuals they have categorized as family. Not acquaintances, not tolerated housemates, family. In multi-cat households, cats that have bonded deeply will allurub each other as a form of creating a shared scent. It's how they communicate. This one is mine, and I am theirs. When your cat did this to you during sleep, they were doing the same thing. They were weaving you into their social world in the most intimate way they know how. They weren't marking you as property, they were claiming you as their person. And hey, if this is making you see your cat differently, hit like and subscribe. It helps us reach more cat lovers who actually want to understand what their cat is really saying. Number 4, it goes back further than you think. Domestic cats diverged from their wild ancestors roughly 10,000 years ago. But the behavior of sleeping in tight contact with trusted companions goes back further than domestication. Feral cats, when they form colonies, sleep in close physical contact with their bonded group members. Mothers sleep curled around their kittens, not just for warmth, but for ongoing sensory monitoring, tracking breathing, temperature, heartbeat. The physical contact is both comfort and surveillance. When your cat slept against you, they were drawing on something ancient, the instinct that says, the ones I trust most, I keep close in the dark. In kittenhood, sleeping in a pile with littermates and a mother is the foundational experience of safety. It is, neurologically, what safety feels like for a cat. You became that for them. You became what safety feels like. That's not a small thing. That is one of the deepest compliments a cat is capable of paying another living creature. Number 5. They chose you specifically, and that choice was not random. Here's what most owners never sit with long enough. Your cat does not sleep with everyone. If you have multiple people in your home, your cat almost certainly has a preference. They may tolerate others, sit near others, and accept affection from others, but the one they choose to sleep against, the one whose breathing they fall asleep to, that choice is deliberate. Researchers who study feline attachment have found that cats form what are called preferred associates, a small selective group of individuals with whom they seek proximity during states of vulnerability. Sleep is the most vulnerable state of all. If your cat chose you as their sleeping companion, they ran an ongoing internal calculus that factored in your scent, your movement patterns, your emotional consistency, and your responses to them over months and years. And you passed. You were deemed safe enough, trustworthy enough, important enough. They don't do this for strangers. They don't do this for people who make them feel uncertain. They do it for the one they have decided, on a deep neurological level, to trust completely. Number 6. When it stops, that's the message you cannot miss. Remember earlier when I mentioned that shift in sleeping position? When a cat moves from your legs to your chest, or from your side to a completely different location? This is what I was talking about. When a cat who has consistently chosen to sleep with you suddenly stops, most owners interpret it as independence. A phase. Mood. Here's what's actually happening, and this is the part most people wish someone had told them sooner. Cats are hardwired to conceal pain and illness. In the wild, showing weakness invites predation. So when a cat is hurting, their first instinct is to hide it. But their behavior changes, and one of the earliest behavioral shifts associated with pain, illness, or physical discomfort in cats is a change in sleeping location and sleeping contact. A 2021 review of feline chronic pain indicators published in the Journal of Feline Medicine and Surgery identified social withdrawal and reduced physical contact as among the earliest and most consistent behavioral signals of ongoing pain, including arthritis, dental disease, internal inflammation, and neurological discomfort. Your cat isn't pulling away because they're done with you. They're pulling away because getting close hurts. Because the jump onto the bed hurts. Because being touched, even softly, even by you, has become associated with discomfort. The absence isn't emotional distance, it's a pain report, and they have no other way to file it. Think about that for a second. They are not pushing you away. They are suffering quietly. And the only way it shows is that the thing they loved, being close to you, has become something they can no longer do without pain. Number 7. What to do when your cat goes quiet. This is where most owners get it wrong. When a cat withdraws, the instinct is to give them space, respect their mood, let them come to you. Sometimes that's right. But if the withdrawal is sudden, if it's been more than a few days, if it's paired with any of the following: reduced appetite, changes in grooming, reluctance to jump or climb, subtle changes in gait, spending more time in enclosed or low spaces, don't wait it out. A veterinary visit is not overreacting. In cats, pain is radically underdiagnosed because the signals are quiet. Behavioral change is frequently the first and only visible symptom of conditions that, caught early, are entirely manageable. The cat who stops sleeping with you might be the cat who needs you most. Don't read the absence as rejection. Read it as a communication from an animal who cannot say I'm hurting any other way. Don't ignore it. So when your cat used to curl against you at night, their body pressed into yours, their breathing slowing into sleep, they weren't doing that because the spot was warm. They were doing it because you were their safe place, their family, their chosen person. That's not a habit. That's devotion expressed in the only language they have. And if that suddenly disappears, it was never small. The absence is as meaningful as the presence ever was. Your cat is still communicating. They're still trying to reach you. The question is whether you're listening.